Well, it is generally not my nature to brag, but I got to brag a little bit. I'm going to impress y'all a little bit. I think some of you know this. You may or may not know it. But I am, in case you didn't know, a zoo member. I believe I've already mentioned that. That's right. That's right. And, thank you. And with that comes certain privileges. We have a sticker on the back of our car. You like that?
That's impressive.
Do you have a sticker? Yeah. Okay, quit laughing. I got a sticker because I'm a zoo member. And to further impress you, it's not only that. It don't stop there, guys. It does not stop there. Costco. I'm a member. Are you not impressed?
Ooh.
That's right. Oh. Member of the Costco Warehouse Club. In case that wasn't enough, Blue Cross. I'm a member. That's right. Tennessee Rural Health. Part of that membership. Y'all don't seem impressed. Why are you not impressed? Those are pretty...
I was impressed by the zoo one.
What? That's an impressive thing. I mean, you know, membership. You know, you see the commercials. Membership has its privileges, right? I can remember being, you know, when I was in high school, and some of you are also fellow members of the Beta Club. Lots of activity there, right? What do you do in the Beta Club? Come to the induction meeting, never show up again. But you're members, right? You know, some clubs are just like that. You can be a member of something like Costco, and it's like, okay, you know, big deal. You can be a zoo member, you get a sticker, and some emails asking for money occasionally. But that's pretty much all you get out of it. You know, you just say you're a member. And there are some clubs that we do not know you guys are active in your service clubs, but when I was in high school, there were some clubs and things that you could be a member of, and you're just a member of it. And we never did know what we did. We barely met, or if ever. You know, you just be a member, and that was it. And, you know, I don't know what the privileges were, but we get into that, right? And you can, probably all of you are members of something that you don't do anything. I bet. We have lots of different memberships. Your parents will be in different things. You could be a homeowners association if you live in a subdivision, or you could be, you know, a member of some kind of civic club. A lot of civic clubs do good work. A lot of them, you know, don't do a whole lot. My mom used to be something called, they call it something different now, but it used to be called the Home Demonstration Club. I don't know what that was. They'd get together and, I don't know what they did, make quilts or something. I don't know. And it was pretty cool, but it was just, you know, not a whole lot of requirements to be in something like that. And I think sometimes we view our membership in the body of Christ sometimes the same way. That you're just a member, you just call yourself a member, and then you just forget about it. You don't really accomplish a whole lot, you know. It's more of a club thing. We're kind of in it. I mean, we're all kind of in that club here, right? If you go to school here, you're just kind of figured to be in that club, right? That's kind of how you get your membership. Sometimes we think of it that way. And that's a shame. Because, you know, we're so geared to seeing stuff like that, that is not the way God intended. Let me read you a passage out of James. James is my favorite. I love him. This is James chapter 2. There's a lot you can pull out of this, okay? But I'll read you a couple of verses and we'll get to the point that I want to make. There's other points that you can make out of this passage. But if a brother or sister is without clothing and in need of daily food, and one of you says to them, "Go in peace, be warmed and be filled," and yet do not give them what is necessary for their body, what use is that? Even so, faith, if it has no works, is dead, being by itself. But someone may well say, "You have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without works, and I will show you my faith by my works." You believe that God is one. You do well. The demons also believe and shudder. But are you willing to recognize, you foolish fellow, that faith without works is useless? Now, there's a lot you could make about that. There's been lots of things written on those passages. But the point I want to focus on is this. membership in the body of Christ, to be a Christian, is not some club. It's not some social thing that you put on when you have your meetings in chapel or Bible class or whatever, and then you just forget about it when you're going about your daily business. Christian faith is active, and it's real, and it changes your behavior if it's true, genuine Christian faith. If you are truly a Christian, you will act differently. Now, the question I have for you is very simple. Are you a member of the body? Or are you a member of the club? And I'll tell you how you know. You just look at your actions. What James is talking about here is a true Christian faith bears itself out. And you're going to see a difference. You're going to be doing things differently. You don't talk the same as those that are not in the body. And if you are, you're probably in the club. You understand what I mean? You don't act the same. Your actions are different. The way you treat other people is different. And if it's not, you're probably in that club rather than the body of Christ. There's a difference there. That's a pretty good gauge. And I'm going to tell you, I am guilty a lot of times of not living up to what I ought to do. My actions don't bear out a lot of times my faith. And I'm sorry to say that. I act selfishly sometimes. I act prideful. I act angry. I don't always put others' interests before mine. Maybe even rarely do I do that. But if we are in a situation where we continually have actions that don't bear out the fact that we're in the body of Christ, and it doesn't bother us, and we don't do anything to change that, that's a problem. That means we're in the club. There will be a difference. There should be a difference in the way that we sound, in the things that we do. If we, give lip service to the fact that, we go to a Christian school and, blah, 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 and then our hallways aren't any different. Our locker rooms aren't any different. The jokes we tell aren't any different. The movies we watch are just the same. Then we're really just in a club. If we don't recognize that, if we have an issue and we're struggling against it, I've heard Coach Creasy talk about this a lot. He says, as long as you're struggling, that's positive. That's a good thing. We all struggle. We all have those things that are a stronghold for us and that that we fight against. That Paul even talks about that. His flesh does things his spirit doesn't want to do. He does things he hates, but he does them anyway. It's a constant struggle. And, if we're struggling, that's a good thing. But if we just accept club membership for what it is, name only, and we go about our daily business and we don't look any different, and we don't sound any different, and we don't do things differently, then there's no use in being in the club. We're not, then what we're doing here is useless. We have no reason to exist. You ever think about that? What makes us different as a school? It's the fact that we strive to follow Christ. That's why we're here. If that's not why we're here, then there's no point in it. Because there's other places we could do other things. All of us, teachers, could go other places. Y'all could go other places. This is what defines us. And so when we step out on the field or on the court or in the hallways, or we talk to our parents at home, or we deal with, we send text messages, or we're dealing with people on the phone, or wherever we are, we ought to show that we are members of the body of Christ and not just some meaningless club it really doesn't make a difference.